Thank you, everyone. I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm here to present the award to a young man. Like Elaine, I think there are people who have callings to do certain things. And we all could want to do certain things, but it doesn't always happen to us. But this young man came into my office in 1996. He had just graduated from Morehouse. He basically wanted to have a job, and my office was Beth Ann Management. It was in 36 North Moore. It was a model agency. And we just talked. I liked him a lot, but I couldn't hire him because I had no space for him. I couldn't afford to do it at the time. I had my staff was full. I never saw him again, but let me say, one thing that sort of held us in the conversation was that he lived in a town that no one ever heard of called Booton, New Jersey. And I was the only other person I thought that knew Booton, New Jersey. And when we talked, and he said that, yeah, I lived in a place that no one ever heard of called Booton. I had been to Booton. So that kept me always remembering him, and I didn't see him again for another 5 years. When I saw him, he was working for IMG. And he had been working with them from the time he left my office. He was hired by that company. He got me here tonight because he's someone who's very special. I think Elaine is special. I think he's very special. He's special because he's well raised. He's smart about how to do the business that we do. Because the business that we do, when it comes down to managing models, you really should be smart. We don't have a lot of smart people out there anymore. You've been meeting them, haven't you? Yeah, they're out there. So when you meet someone really smart and know how to really manage and do things proper and seem like they've had some background in an office, I was really happy to see this young man again. And he reminded me that I was the one that he really wanted to work for, but he wound up going to this company, and he was from Booton, New Jersey. So this story I tell you now is because I watched this young man grow, be smart, and at one point, there was a girl that I knew that really deserved to have an opportunity that she wasn't getting in the office that she was working in. She was a model. She was being represented by another company. And the thing that meant a lot to me was that I believed in this young man. I watched how he worked. I saw his ethics. I saw his stamina. I saw how he reminded me of myself in a lot of ways, too, how I worked. And so I told this young lady, if you go to this young man, change agencies, I'm telling you, your career is going to go. And she said, no, this agency's too big, people told her don't do it. But I convinced her. She trusted me, she didn't listen to the others. She became the #1 model in the world. This young man has talent. I'm very proud to be here tonight. Only he could have gotten me here tonight. And he's someone that really means a great deal to me. I refer to him truly as one of my sons. But he's really, achieved a great deal. And he was able to leave the company he was at for 19 years. And he moved on to a company and became the president. And I was very proud. He called me to tell me that he was going to make that move. I encouraged him greatly. I'm very proud of him. And I'm very pleased to see someone so young, to me, young, to be able to run a company and let them allow him to do it. They believed in him. They said he was one of the best agents in the world. So there he goes. So I'm going to bring him out here now. But first of all, I want to thank Brandis very much for being so steadfast with this organization. And really, right? Steadfast. I was telling her, I said, I remember the first event she had, I thought it was 10 years ago, but when she said 9, I guess well. The first event she had, the amount of people who were in the back, I think in the back is about what filled up that space. To see so many people now coming out and being supportive as she supports and gives this opportunity, I'm very proud. Proud for her to give the award to Elaine, proud for her to give the award to Kyle Hagler, who I'm very proud to say I'm his other mother. This is the Trailblazer Award given by Harlem.
Hi everyone. I'm young in my head, Beth Ann, thank you very much. Anyway, thank you to Brandis and the Harlem's Fashion Row and my dear friend Emil Wilbekin for this tremendous honor. And congratulations to my fellow honorees and friends, actually, for all of your accomplishments. You have to forgive me, I'm not used to being thrust into the spotlight. My career as a manager and a talent and president of the management firm Next is predicated on being behind the scenes, encouraging my talent to unleash their specialized greatness on the world. I often ask myself, how did a young man from New Jersey, small town in New Jersey, end up here, and why me? Did I win the lottery and luck up on a career that I am passionate about? Did the stars align to allow me to see that life is always filled with possibility? I mean, maybe. I was fortunate enough to be born to a mother, Hagler, MD, who I'm very happy to have here tonight, who is she's pretty amazing. Who as a single mother of 2 boys managed to lead by example and finish college, graduate medical school with honors, become a professor of medicine, and open up her own practice, her own medical practice, never once caving in to the pressures of motherhood. Social expectation to fail, and ever-changing times. I was blessed with a grandmother, Mary Frazier, who, may she rest in peace, was a visionary enough to know that I, at a very young age, had an affinity for fashion. She made me aware of fashion in her own way by directing me to a news story about an incredible designer by the name of Patrick Kelly, who was making a huge splash in Paris at the time. That was my first memory of being intrigued to see people who looked like me in an integral role in this mammoth industry called fashion. I had an uncle who took me at the tender age of 10 to Barney's for the first time, where I bought my first high fashion garments designed by the late great Willie Smith, who back then was an integral part of it. I was able to go to a college filled with legacy, ambitious, inspired, and inspirational people called Morehouse College. There I learned awareness and appreciation of self, strategy, and business savvy. But what does this all mean if you have no access to an industry for which you have every desire to be a part of? Your dream not only gets deferred, but it gets killed. Thankfully, I was able to cross paths with people who generously extended their hand to me, pulling me into a world that I longed to be in. One of those women, Beth Ann Hardison, who graciously presented me the award tonight, with all of her accomplishments as a model, a muse, a manager of talent, could very well have turned a blind eye to me in all of my naivete and infancy. But she became one of my biggest supporters, one of my best advisors, and one of my closest friends. Bobby Moraes, my first boss in a modeling agency in Atlanta, Georgia, pushed me out of the proverbial nest and sent me to New York to meet with agencies like Elite and Ford and IMG, as well as magazines like Vogue and GQ, forcing me to see the possibilities in myself to succeed in fashion. I commend Harlem's Fashion Row on being the resource for African American design talent, and by giving them access and being able to allow them the opportunity to pursue their dreams. People ask, what do I love most about my career? And I say it's really about the opportunity to help women realize professional dreams beyond their wildest imagination. I've always been a huge proponent of developing and encouraging creative talent of color to ascend to levels within fashion where they become the decision makers and are able to influence how image is manifested in media. Diversity can only be achieved in fashion and image when there's a diverse voice of people in design, photography, styling, art, direction, management, and art buying present in the conversation in abundance. Everyone in this room must harness the spirit of giving back and understand that their individual voice from that very small town somewhere in the world can create a movement. That movement will evoke change, and that change will lead to our evolution as a people. Thank you to all the trailblazers that inspire me on a daily basis. My mother, Beth Ann Hardison, Anais Mali, and Riley Montana, who joined me tonight, who are hiding behind the thing because I was so stressed out. and the countless clients, friends, business partners that allow me the possibility not only to see the possibility in my business of fashion, which I never thought I would be a part of, but also in life. I do hope that I also am able to continuously help my community thrive in possibility as well. So I thank you all, and I hope that you all just really go after your dreams. I think for those of you who have experienced success in this business, you have a responsibility to help those who are starting out, who want to be a part of this business, that have what it takes to get into this business. Because you can be as talented as you are, but if you don't have the access, it'll never happen. And we have to do it.